Lights up!
Thrilled to say we've been joined today by 3 cast members from our next main stage production, which is Amadeus, from the 14th to the 18th of November. We have Emily McCormick, we have Paul Dineen, and we have Nathan, and I've already forgotten how to say that.
Chatelier.
Chatelier, I mean, what a name, that is just so amazing. Now, Emily and Nathan, you are brand new to Patney Theatre Company, am I right?
Mm-hmm. I volunteered about 10 years ago on your production of Foxfinder.
What took you so long?
University,
life,
enough. Taxes.
And have you been doing theatre elsewhere?
Yeah. I did a panto just before COVID. 127 shows. Sleeping Beauty.
Were you the beauty?
I was the rabbit and Prince Charming.
And Emily, you are brand new, and I'm assuming you've done many things before elsewhere.
So I've done things with Tower Theatre. That was one of my first times I ever did like a full-scale production. And then I've done loads of stuff. I've done stuff at the Royal Court, done film and television.
Oh, we have professionals darling in the room. We have professionals. Amazing. Well, welcome to
Thank you.
I'm thrilled that you've been cast. I know that rehearsals are going particularly well. And of course we have Paul Dineen, who our listener will know starred in Great Expectations as Jaggers and was brilliant. And now you're back as
I am back.
Salieri.
I've got one under my belt, as you said, with Great Expectations. And yes, back for Salieri.
And how's it going?
Wonderful. What a great character. I saw this movie when I was about 16 and I said, when I'm old enough, I'd really love to play that part. And here it is. It's ingrained in my memory. Some of those speeches are just so memorable.
And how are the speeches coming along, dare I ask?
The speeches are good. I've concentrated on them for quite a while now. They go in quite a bit easier.
In the shower?
In the shower.
Oh,
in the shower, on the bus.
In
yes,
Waitrose.
I've gotten crazy looks from people on the bus because I've forgotten where I am and my lips have been moving and I am that crazy man on the bus.
Nice.
For the art.
For the art, exactly.
Of course, that's what we do. And for those who don't know that, obviously this is a fictitious story that Peter Schaffer has invented for the relationship between Salieri and Mozart. What are the main elements of Salieri's character? What makes him such a fascinating character to play?
He's a contradicting character. There's a lot of conflict going on in him. He's driven by his vow to God and to the church that he made when he was sober 16, as he calls himself. And he's tried to live by those principles all his life. And it's been successful until a certain somebody shows up.
And I was going to say, and then suddenly, in comes the new boy on the town, the prodigy, the young genius that is Mozart. So Nathan, tell me, how much fun is it playing a potty-mouthed oaf?
Natural.
No acting required.
Not
Excellent.
a bit. It's lovely. It's almost one of the challenges has been a character that's so kind of simple in intention most of the time. You know, he says exactly what he thinks. It's almost Shakespearean, you know.
How refreshing as well.
Yeah,
Instead of having a filter that we all have. But how refreshing as a character to have that freedom to be able to say, this is what's happening. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's absolutely sincere. And that's one of the odd challenges. I'm used to kind of, how do I play this? You know, what's the subtext here?
Yeah.
He says what he means 99% of the time.
Oh, how amazing. And now, of course, and in comes Constanze,
Hello.
the wife of... Now, I don't know this, so you can tell me, how do you guys meet?
Well, he was actually engaged to my sister before.
Oh, excuse me, what? Oh, please.
But that's absolutely fine because my sister went, absolutely not, you can have him, basically. I mean, historically, Constanze has wrote in her diary about Mozart from the day she met him. From when she was 16 years old.
A massive crush then.
A massive crush. It was like Harry Styles of the day.
So marrying your idol, basically.
Yeah,
Ooh, okay.
she did that. So that is how he originally met Constanze. And then they started courting when she was 19 and I think he was 25.
Okay, well that's not too bad. That's not indecent.
No, and she doesn't care if it is either way.
And it is a proper love match. There's no...
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Now, so I'm assuming that music might have featured fairly heavily. How's that actually being interwoven into the play? Because there's a lot, I'm assuming, and we don't have a live orchestra, no spoiler alert. But so how's that work? I mean, do you play the piano yourself?
I have been taught piano in the past. So
that helps, sure.
It really helps.
Where the hands are supposed to be.
2 months isn't quite enough time to rival the world's greatest maestro, but
I don't think anyone's expecting you to, my
tinkling
darling. I
around.
think you're fine. I think you're okay.
Oh, that's very generous. But interestingly, because Salieri is sort of the MC of the play, Mozart doesn't really have much autonomy over his music. It's mostly introduced by Salieri's character rather than Mozart's.
Now that's interesting because it's born out of, I would like to think it's equal admiration and jealousy from Salieri, because this child prodigy has literally, well, not child, I mean you're an adult by then, aren't you, has come in and just is extremely talented. And is that where the jealousy comes from? The fact that you're not there, that you're at a different level?
Yeah, I don't think the admiration is quite there in Schaffer's play, and I think this is the difference between the truthful story about Salieri and Mozart, and history seems to suggest they had a lot more admiration and time for one another, but Schaffer's really dialed it up to 11. And
so basically he's turned it into The Crown. Yeah? So basically, it's small grains of truth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone knows the characters, but actual fact and fiction are quite far diametrically opposed.
Well, it's hard to tell the difference sometimes, and you don't really know where he's blurred the lines beautifully, but to your point about the music, he's stitched the music in absolutely beautifully. Like we've realised through doing the music yesterday that almost throughout his speeches it matches up to the music almost perfectly at times.
How amazing.
And it is wonderful. It really does underpin and bring the whole show to life, I think.
Well, thankfully, it is about the music as well. Good to know.
Yeah.
Phew. Now, whereabouts in the lifespan does the play take place? Is it over a period of months or years or
decades?
Oh,
Indeed.
decades.
So it starts off in 1820.
1823 it starts
Yeah.
off. Salieri is an old man and he's talking about his memories of his prime, going back to 1781 almost, or even before at
that,
times.
1781 is when Mozart died. So it spans way back to just around the 1770s, I think.
When he first moved to Vienna.
Yeah. So you see you see the characters go through a lot of change and age as well.
And how's that happening on stage from a production point of view? I imagining, Paul, you're not donning a wig. You might be donning a wig.
I don't know what's happening. I've just been told, do not cut my hair. That's all I've been told
Well, I
so
can't
far.
wait. Maybe it's slicked back.
Possibly.
Who knows? Maybe you have a little bald cap put on.
I've heard talk of a ponytail.
So it spans from your as an old man, then looking back, being more reflective.
Going back into the action and carrying back through to being an old man again.
Yeah.
So what an opportunity as a performer to be able to transform on stage from a 70-year-old. And there's no real costume or makeup changes. It's all done through the physicality and the voice.
And we know how good you are doing that because we all came to see Great Expectations.
I did have to change up a few times, didn't I?
And you were fabulous, particularly in the bonnet, I thought.
Lovely, yes. Yeah.
That was
I only
Paul's
got one
favourite
run
bit.
I
Yes.
only got one run at the bonnet, but I made sure I got one on.
Yeah, you missed it if you didn't see it. It's a joy to behold. Now Mozart, does he age? So where do we see him? He starts from...
So Mozart starts age 25, and then we see him go to 35, which is the year that he passed away.
I didn't realise he was so young.
So
I know
young.
ignorance over
And he
here.
composed something like, I can't remember, about 800 pieces that he was composing from the age of 4 or 5. So he was absolutely prolific. He was writing, dozens of pieces every single year of his life. He never stopped. He was a machine. He was writing at least one a month.
That is, when you think, that is actually phenomenal, isn't it?
It's amazing.
And
It
this
was unstoppable.
production includes music from The Magic Flute, Don
Yes.
Giovanni,
The Requiem.
Night. Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Costa fan tutti,
Marriage
wow.
of Figaro.
Oh, lovely.
yeah.
All the classics.
all the big ones,
Yeah,
all the big hits.
exactly.
All the Spotify, yeah.
Now that's what I call Mozart.
And what about the lovely Constanze?
So she starts off the play as 19, so a child, and progresses from young bride, excited, giggly, girly, to wife, to mother, and then to businesswoman.
So I guess
Yeah.
when Mozart dies, I mean, she takes over his legacy.
She does, yeah.
So she would get the... I mean, they probably didn't have rights in those days, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically to make sure that his legacy isn't sullied in any way.
That was basically her life after that.
Which is some responsibility.
Yeah, no pressure.
And maybe we say, thanks to Constanze that we have the music here today.
We wouldn't have had the Requiem if it wasn't for her.
So genuinely we wouldn't have
Yeah,
it. Wow.
she because it wasn't finished. and then she hired 2 people to finish it. And I've read books about her and the things that she did to make sure that her husband had a legacy, because she really believed in his talent, including like her own children, who she had so much passion in as well. And she lived till the age of 80 and never once. Yeah, which was quite good for a lady of her time.
I mean, that's...
Yeah. So I was pretty proud of her when I read that.
Yeah.
I know. Well done, girl.
So now how are the rehearsals? We've got just over 2 weeks. So it's 2 weeks on Tuesday. Sorry. How's it all gone? What's been the rehearsal process like? Has it been fun?
Yeah.
You can't really say no to that question, can you? I asked everybody.
Absolutely hated it.
Awful.
Yeah, shocking.
Every moment. It's been really, really, really fun, especially working with these two. I'm learning so much. It's
that's good.
so fun.
It has been a blast, really getting inside this character and working with Ian again. He has a very interesting approach. He really does get it right up front and really drills it home. And we're now in sort of that home stretch now where we get to enjoy it. Even just doing the run of Act 1 today, which is the first time we've done it. It came together really well.
Well, he has a very clear vision.
He does.
And all the hours and weeks of hard work pays massive dividends at the end, because it's always such an incredibly polished and accomplished production. So we're very lucky to have Ian, and very lucky that he chose so well. Now, the costume, so obviously clearly it's a period piece set in the 18th century. So I'm imagining the costumes are out of this world.
Amazing. Simon Crump,
incredible
costumes.
Yeah.
I mean, Simon Crump is the master of costumes, by the way. People, if you haven't worked with him before, then you've been spoilt.
Oh.
Because his attention to detail is phenomenal, and I know that he always makes people look incredible. What's your favourite outfit?
I would have to go with probably the outfit that I wear in the very first scene when we get introduced to Constanze.
Nice.
And I've got more costume stuff happening on Wednesday, so TBC.
Right, it's not even there yet.
It's not even there.
And you must have amazing costumes.
I look absolutely ridiculous. But we went to the National Theatre building to try on the costumes, and we went to the Georgian section and happened to take out loads of costumes from the production of Amadeus that the National Theatre did.
No.
So Paul and I both got to try on Salieri's golden pants
and
from
have you hired
Amadeus.
them, or did they go back?
No, unfortunately they didn't make the short list.
I'm going to say it's because they were too expensive and not because they didn't fit, darling.
Of course, thank you.
Yes, my pleasure.
Lucian Masamati's pants, and they had scuff marks on the knees
They
from
did,
where he
indeed, yeah.
prays to God in every
Yeah.
performance.
I mean, that's pretty phenomenal, isn't it? Just to be able to try them on.
Oh yeah.
Even though you haven't got them. But I know the end result will be just as spectacular.
And out of the thousands and thousands of coats that we found for Salieri, or the thousands of coats that were there, the actor's name in the coat that we selected is exactly my surname as well.
No!
So it's Peter Dineen wore that.
Stop it!
Yes,
Creepy.
wore that one coat 20 years ago
That's bonkers.
in a national production. So
Are you
mind
going
blown.
to take out Peter and put Paul
Cross
on?
it. Yeah, exactly. Just keep the same
Send it
initial
back.
P Dineen.
Oh my god, that is phenomenal.
That is phenomenal.
Isn't
and
it?
if you're lucky enough to go up there, it's
Oh,
just vast, the
beautiful.
number of costumes.
So excited.
I've never been. I don't think I've been allowed.
Do you want to come in my bag on Wednesday?
Can I? You
Absolutely.
can. Thank you. I'll be very good, I promise. I won't touch things as much. So we have just over 2 weeks to go. Exciting times. Yes, are we ready? Are we prepared?
We are readier with every rehearsal.
Yeah.
And we're
That's
going to
the way.
arrive right at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
It's got great energy.
That's perfect, isn't
Yeah.
it? When you've hit the
Yeah.
spot. And yeah, nice one. Now today you're rehearsing all day from 9 o'clock. Where are we here from?
10 o'clock.
10.
I think we've got a bit of a lie-in.
At 9 a.m. I was waiting at the bus stop, digesting
Wow.
breakfast, yeah.
Until 6 today.
Yes.
Now, I know I don't have to remind you to buy your tickets, but if you haven't got them already, shame on you. Please go to the website, www.putneyartstheatre.org.uk. Performance dates are 14th to the 18th of November, plus the matinee, let us not forget that, at 3 p.m. on the Saturday. Tickets are selling quickly, as Ian keeps reminding me, so get on there, sort it out. Come along and support this production. I know it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. This is going to look visually stunning. The acting is going to be off the scale. It will rival, quite frankly, the West End production from 1979. You heard it here first. Come and see it, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you very much, my loves.
Thank
See you
you.
soon. Take care. Bye-bye now.
This is a real Putney Theatre Company production. Do share the podcast with your friends and take a look at our website, searching online for the Putney Theatre Company. So that's it for now. See you next time.